Beloved, take a slow, gentle breath and rest your heart here for a moment. These words reach you not by accident or mere curiosity, but as a living answer for the ache and longing within you right now. I see the uncertainty in your eyes, the questions that return in quiet hours. And I remind you, this is for you precisely now. Do not slip away or assume this is meant for someone else. In this very moment, the invisible current of my presence is already stirring and preparing to reshape the landscape of your days. Life seldom offers such pivotal moments, and if you only half listen or push these words aside, you may miss a revelation meant to turn the page in your journey. Stay fully present, my precious one, and let your soul lean in. Something within you is about to shift. You feel the restlessness that runs beneath your routines, and I say to you, there is movement in the unseen. Even as you listen, ripple effects are reaching into the places where you have grown tired, where resignation has threatened to settle in. The burdens you have carried in silence are known to me. The late-night battles, the quiet grief tucked behind smiles and responsibilities, the anxious whispers that visit when others sleep. These do not escape my notice. In the stillness of this sacred pause, let yourself admit how tired you have been, how fiercely you have been hoping for relief, not just for you, but for those you love. There is no shame here. This is where our deepest connection begins. My child, hear this with certainty. I have always been present in the background, orchestrating details you could not see, preparing a shift that could not have come sooner without overwhelming you. You have poured yourself out for others, watched over your family, stood as a shelter for those unaware of the storms you shielded them from. You've wondered why the changes never seem to come, why your prayers seem to echo in silence. Today, I reveal to you that nothing you have given, no act of patience or whispered hope, has been wasted. Even when change seemed far off, I was carefully arranging the right time, protecting you, sheltering all that matters most, even when you imagined you were unseen. Notice now, as old burdens begin to loosen, I am gently shifting away what no longer belongs in your season. Some people are quietly exiting your path, and you may not understand why. Trust this process. As I release what used to weigh you down, new joy begins to soften the spaces within you that you thought would always ache. This isn't simply a turning of events. It is a turning of your spirit. Receive the breath of freedom rising inside, the peace that does not erase every challenge, but sets your heart at ease in the midst of them. When you meet days where small details align so perfectly, recognize that these are not lucky accidents, but my hand marking your way. Each connection, each shift, each moment of synchronicity is my affirmation that you are not forgotten. Some may never understand the roads you've walked, the silent sacrifices you made, but I have held every single one in my heart. What you struggled to express, the needs too delicate to voice aloud for fear of disappointment, I understood before you formed them. In the quietest chambers of your inner life, where only I have access, I am breathing new vitality, a steady, gentle force waking you to hope again. Remember those mornings when the act of rising felt monumental? When all you could pray for was the grace to make it through? Those prayers planted seeds. Now you will see them blossom into a clarity that lights your next steps. You have stood for others, interceded in hope for lives and futures that felt tangled and unclear. Private struggles and unseen efforts sometimes left you empty, and still you chose to believe. I honor each decision, every selfless moment, every time you favored love over cynicism. My promise is true. You are approaching an era of deep gladness, not based on everything around you changing at once, but on the unmistakable awareness that I walk with you in every hour. A happiness once unimaginable is gently filling the cracks you thought would stay empty. I am mending ties that were nearly severed, calling home those who have wandered, calming storms in your family, and restoring joy where health and hope felt fragile. Detractors' voices are quieting. Adversities that seemed insurmountable are losing their grip. Do not measure your future by the constraints of the past. What is coming is not just sufficient. It is overwhelming grace, enough that even those who doubted you will recognize my work in your life. Look up, my child. Breathe deeply and prepare to receive what is lasting. You have not labored in vain. Every act of love, each wise word, even the times you took the harder road to remain true, all are seen and are now opening the way for flourishing. Your strength will endure, your thoughts find their calm, and your daily needs are being arranged through my unfailing presence. Some who once tried to diminish your worth will from a distance witness the transformation budding within you. As patience gives way to rejoicing, you will stand in quiet awe of how much was preserved for you, opportunities and comforts you had not dared to request in recent hard days. Remember, I have missed nothing. Every unspoken longing, each weary sigh, each moment you pressed forward despite exhaustion is treasured and is leading you to a richer joy. You will not celebrate because life becomes spotless, but because my nearness will become your anchor, steadying you more than ever before. Even now, as you allow my words to settle, you will sense a mysterious anticipation. This is not wishful thinking. It is the sign that I am preparing visible proof of my presence around you. Be watchful for the unexpected connection, the conversation that heals what was thought broken, the opportunity you believed had passed forever. You will recognize unmistakably that it was my careful hand guiding everything. Hold this assurance tightly. The restoration you crave, for situations and dreams you've kept hidden deep within, is already beginning. I am breathing life into everything you thought lost, reviving purpose where hopelessness crept in. When you open your eyes to a new day, I am already here, closer than your own breath, attentive to every movement of your heart. I have not forgotten you in the passing of the night. Each morning, my grace hovers over you like a gentle warmth, inviting you to believe that you are not carrying today's burdens alone. Let truth quiet your restless thoughts. I do not leave you to navigate uncertainty, for my hand goes before you, steady and unwavering. Do you sometimes wonder if you truly matter in the great unfolding of life? I see the countless details that make you who you are. When anxiety presses at your chest or old fears whisper in quiet moments, lean into my presence. Place a hand over your heart and exhale. You are heard deeply and always. I invite you to welcome these moments as places where we meet. Your uncertainties are not barriers to me. They are invitations for my closeness. Pause now, if only for a breath. Let gratitude bloom quietly in you, not forced or grand, but honest and small. A whisper of thanks for a roof overhead, the voice of a loved one. When you choose to notice what is good, you activate a doorway through which my peace enters, real and sustaining. Resist the urge to rush past this. Your simple, grounded thanks releases my comfort deep into your being. Allow yourself to let go of what you cannot control. This is not a call to resignation, but a gentle shift from clenched fists to open hands. When you surrender your need to foresee every outcome, you make space for me to surprise you with new possibilities and hidden strength. You are not defined by cycles of striving or the tides of circumstances. Surrender is not weakness. It is the very soil where trust will grow, watered by my faithfulness to you. Release today's anxieties into my keeping and feel the relief settle over you. As you contemplate your family, your calling, your hopes for those you love, trust that I am working in every unseen place. I am the one who safeguards their journeys and shelters their hearts when you cannot. Your prayers matter even when the answers do not unfold as swiftly or visibly as you expect. When fears flare up that you might somehow fall short, remember this. My love covers where you feel lacking, and my promise is to carry you and those you cherish. Do not measure your worth by measuring outcomes. Measure by the constancy of my gaze upon you. Sometimes you wonder if your story will ever change, if new doors will really open. I want you to know every season of waiting is not wasted. In stillness, I am preparing new strength within you, forging hope where there was fatigue, and setting the stage for opportunities that you may not expect. Trust that my guidance is active whether the path is lit or shadowed. I am not indifferent to your disappointments. When setbacks sting or trust feels fragile, come to me honestly. Lay before me your fears that you'll repeat old mistakes, that change will be withheld, that joy is for others, but not for you. I am bigger than all your fears, and my compassion is not exhausted by your questions. I invite you to sit quietly in my presence even before answers come. Here you will find that your spirit is steadied, and your heart isn't judged for trembling. Allow my voice to be louder, steadier than the noise inside you. Do not shrink from your calling in this world. You are not an afterthought nor a background character in my design. I have formed you for more than mere survival. I have breathed purpose into your days. Even if you do not see all the steps ahead, walk forward, trusting that I am anchoring your feet. The identity I speak over you is not revoked by struggle or silence. Let your doubt be met by my confidence in you. I see the gifts hidden beneath your anxieties. I delight to watch them grow. If you begin to second-guess your worth, touch your chest and remember, I who formed your inmost being am not repelled by your imperfection. Each moment you allow me into your weakness becomes a doorway for my strength. When the world rushes past or weighs expectations on your shoulders, retreat for a moment into the stillness where I wait for you. Let my nearness settle your breathing. Let my acceptance envelop you. When you lift your eyes from your own anxious thoughts, notice how I am present even in subtle ways. A gentle intuition, a newfound patience, a comforting word that interrupts your worries. My presence does not always arrive with sudden miracles, but often through quiet fortitude, resilience expanding in you day by day. Receive this as the evidence that I am sustaining you. As today unfolds, let your first instinct be to return to me, not just in crisis, but in ordinary moments. Whisper your desires, fears, and joys. I am never wearied by your heart, no matter how persistent or particular your prayers may feel. Where others tire, my compassion grows deeper. This is the intimacy I long for, that you might walk aware of my accompaniment, able to face what comes with shoulders relaxed and spirit anchored. Let every step be marked by the assurance that you are held. Even if you stumble, falter, or feel the old anxieties resurface, I remain unshaken in my commitment to you. The story I am writing over your life is sturdy. Your sense of belonging is not at the mercy of mood or circumstance. Let me quiet that rush beneath your skin, the hum that steals your focus and disguises itself as productivity. Draw close for a moment, feeling the hush settle over your breathing. I have never missed a detail in your life, and this very season invites you to unlearn the lie that you are alone in the waiting. Each morning my presence arrives, gentle as soft light through your window, calling you back from anxiety into the lush simplicity of being held. There is relief here, freedom from measuring your worth by how much you accomplish, or whether your efforts are finally seen. I know how you replay old conversations and worry about moments you wish you could redo. My grace is not fragile, and it melts every rewind of regret. You are not condemned by your past missteps, nor defined by the opinions that sometimes echo in your mind. As you let the memory wind down, notice how relief starts to loosen your shoulders. That feeling of being behind never comes from me. I am not pacing impatiently ahead of you, but walking beside you, ever patient and available. It is natural to want certainty, to crave a map when the path ahead blurs. Even here amid uncertainty, listen. I whisper peace, not explanations, so your heart grows in trust rather than striving. Open your hands and let the weight of control slip away, if only for today. My timing is not a puzzle you must solve. It is an invitation to step again onto ground I have steadied for you. If anxiety rises, pause to remember how many days I have carried you. Countless, each shaped with care. There are voices that speak of fear, fears about the future, about whether your family will flourish, about what happens if dreams change or doors do not open as planned. I understand those fears, but I remind you my watchfulness does not sleep. I tend to those you love, surrounding them with unseen strength and providing protection that does not depend on your striving. Picture my arm resting over your household, a shelter stronger than any worry. Let this image water your heart with hope. If heaviness lingers in your thoughts, let me lift it. Release, just for a heartbeat, the need to figure everything out. In the quiet, sense my spirit settling beside you, offering clarity. Each new morning, ask yourself not what you must solve, but who you will trust. I am your constant companion, never burdened by your questions. The courage you need grows in the atmosphere of my love, not in relentless analysis or comparison. You may be mourning missed opportunities or wishing circumstances looked different. Yet even in disappointment, my faithfulness continues its quiet work. See how the ground softens with every surrendered tear, preparing new life where you thought nothing could grow. I'm never done creating good out of what you've lost. The future remains open, bright with possibilities you cannot predict, but you can trust me to reveal. Let the rhythm of gratitude mark your day. Let it begin as simply as thanking me for the sunlight that reaches your face or the comfort in a loved one's laugh. When gratitude anchors you, you find unexpected strength. Little by little, my joy becomes your shield, and even small things start to glimmer with meaning. Gratitude is not a distraction from hardship, but a doorway into the assurance I offer. Every good gift comes as a sign you are not forgotten. If you wonder what it means to surrender, remember it is not defeat, but a turning toward freedom. It is choosing to rest in my sovereignty when you don't understand, rather than wearing yourself out with endless questioning. You are never asked to abandon your desires, but to entrust them to hands that know your story already. Surrender in my kingdom always brings greater gain than what you risk releasing. Some days the pressure mounts, urging you to do more, to run after achievements as proof of your value. Let these moments remind you your worth is settled, Before you began the work, before anyone approved or applauded, you were mine. My words over your life prevailed long before your schedule filled. Your name was whispered over you long before anyone else uttered it. Worth does not fluctuate with your performance. Rest in that truth. You do not have to carry your worries about timing. If you are waiting for change, longing for a new beginning, let it be a season of preparation rather than frustration. I guide every turning of the page. My path for you does not run out because a calendar flipped or because one plan stalled. Wait with expectancy, not dread. I tend the seeds you have sown beneath the surface. In the quiet, new roots are forming. When anxiety tries to name you, remember I call you beloved, chosen, strong with my strength. Place your trust in that identity and let my voice override the noise. Beloved, as you pause here, know that my desire is not distant approval, but deep living connection. You've carried burdens behind polite smiles and quiet strength. Yet beneath that exterior, old wounds ache for my healing touch. I reach through memory and fear, gently inviting you to open what you have kept locked away. The world told you that vulnerability would be your undoing, but I say this is where your greatest strength begins. Let your guard drop with each steady breath. The questions rising inside, what if I change? What if I'm not enough? Are not shocking to me. I have walked every dark alley of your story, and I do not turn away. There is a stirring in your soul, a cry for more freedom, more peace, more intimacy than you've ever dared to dream. I honor that longing because I planted it within you. Even the ache is holy, a reminder that you are destined for relationship with me beyond religion. Let yourself feel the weight of my nearness in this room as real as your own breath. Settle your shoulders now. Release the tension you did not realize you were carrying. I am pressing gently against the walls you've built, not to condemn, but to bring fresh air into every stifled chamber of your heart. You may wonder if surrender means losing control. You may clutch tightly to patterns and stories that feel safe because they are familiar. The enemy whispers, if you let go, you'll be empty. But I tell you, when you open your hands, you make space for me to fill you with life greater than anything you could gather on your own. You are not surrendering to chaos. You are entrusting your journey to the one who knows every turn ahead. I hold the blueprint of your destiny, and nothing you release to me will ever be lost. In fact, what you hand over, I redeem and multiply. Try this now. Take a deep inhale. Let it out slowly and in your mind. Picture placing what worries you most into my strong hands. This is not a trivial exercise. It is an act of courageous invitation. Feel your chest rise and fall in rhythm with the assurance of my presence. Let these words become shelter around you. The old story that says you are too damaged, too late, too complicated, it dies here in this moment under my gaze. I am the one who steps over shame and disappointment to claim you as wholly mine. Your identity is secure, not because you achieve perfection, but because you belong to me. Say it aloud, even softly. I am chosen. I am known. I am loved. Watch how your spirit begins to respond to truth spoken with sincerity. You are not meant to perform for my approval or compete for affection. My love is not a prize to be earned, but a reality to be received. Even now, I am dismantling the illusion that you must do more to become worthy. You already are by virtue of my relentless intervening grace. Where accusation rises, let my promise be louder. I restore what was broken. I transform wounds to wisdom, bitterness to compassion. The pain you buried so deeply is not your disqualification. It is soil for resurrection. There is beauty emerging from places you thought would always remain desolate. And you do not have to force this growth. I work where you surrender, not where you strive. There are areas still clenched in fear, shadows that resist illumination. I do not force open what you protect, but I lovingly invite you. Let me in. Set aside your defense long enough to sense my healing power moving through the cracks. Try placing your hand over your heart now. Breathe. Whisper my name. Notice how the atmosphere shifts when your awareness turns from self-preservation to divine presence. My beloved child, you have nothing to prove and nothing to hide. Where you have been misunderstood and abandoned by others, I commit to never departing. My nearness is not conditional on your performance. You are wrapped, shielded, and covered. You might feel doubt clawing for attention. Maybe this is for others, not for me. Maybe I'm too far gone. The lie is persistent, but my truth is unshakable. I am the God who leaves the 99 for the one. You have never been lost from my sight, never beyond my rescuing grasp. The enemy has tried to convince you that change is impossible, that old habits and heartbreaks are permanent. He is a liar. I am relentless in pursuit of your wholeness. The breakthrough you long for is already germinating in the dark, quiet, mysterious. but growing. Soon you will sense a peace that confounds logic settling over you at an hour when you least expect it. You'll know it is me because your heart will feel lighter, your mind sharper, your hope renewed. Let your heart settle now, beloved. Breathe in my presence as you listen to my voice wrapping around the silent spaces inside you. I'm not far off, unreachable or preoccupied. My nearness is your inheritance, more constant than the beating of your heart. Even in those moments when confusion fogs your path and you can barely string together a prayer, I remain with you, steady, unwavering, ever attentive to the smallest sigh from your lips. Feel the warmth blooming in your chest, the hint of something holy pressing on your awareness. Yes, that is my spirit reminding you that you have never walked alone. Not for one step. Questions stir deep within. I know you wonder why some doors have resisted your knocking, why answers seem delayed, why the weight of hope sometimes feels harder to lift than the burdens themselves. You have asked if your faith is too frail, if your courage falters at the whisper of disappointment. Precious one, those thoughts do not repel me. They draw me closer to you because I delight in revealing that my love is not measured by your certainty, but anchored in my own eternal faithfulness. Pause and place your hand on your heart. Now notice your pulse under your fingers. Each beat a quiet echo of the promise, you remain mine. There is a part of you, quiet yet persistent, that worries everything might remain as it is. What if nothing changes, you ask? I see you balancing past disappointment on one shoulder and fragile expectation on the other. Child, let me speak plainly. In the places where you have lost hope, I am planting seeds of resurrection you cannot yet see. I move beneath the surface, crafting life from what looked dead and spent. What you call stuck is sometimes my way of holding you close, while realigning what was shaken in your soul. Before long, you will recognize the gentle tremors of change beginning to reshape your story from the inside out. Stop. Feel that sudden stillness around you. That recognition is not accidental. It's me signaling that you are seen, heard, and about to be shifted. Let yourself linger in this hush because in the silence I am communicating more than words. It is here in these unrushed pauses that I stitch old wounds with golden healing. There is something I want to show you about your pain. It was never wasted or discarded. I have collected every tear, repurposed every groan, and I am forming something radiant out of what you feared was beyond repair. Your mind might try to dismiss what you are sensing, searching for evidence or logic. But I did not design you to be limited by what your eyes can prove. You were fashioned for deeper discernment, for spiritual knowing that goes beyond reason. The ache you feel to be understood, to finally exhale without fear of judgment, is a longing I put in you, a deep craving for my embrace. When you come to me raw and unguarded, I shield your vulnerability with my kindness. Say it now. I am safe. I am chosen. I am yours. Let the truth settle deeper with each breath. You are not the only one who fights these silent battles. Thousands have stood where you stand, aching for breakthrough, hungry for assurance. You are joining a movement of the awakened, brave enough to hope one more time, daring enough to surrender the comfort of numbness in exchange for transformation. I honor your willingness to risk again. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is your stubborn trust at work, forged in the fire of uncertainty and refusing to bow to despair. Something is stirring in you now. A holy unrest. A tipping point momentum that cannot be explained by circumstance. You sense a shift coming, though nothing in your external world has changed just yet. I say this to you as a sign. Within the next 72 hours, you will hear words from an unexpected source that confirm what I am whispering. Now you will know it is me, because peace, not anxiety, will settle over you as those words reach your ears. Mark this moment because I delight in giving you tangible reminders of my promises. You may be tempted to minimize what you feel. That voice that whispers, "You're imagining things," is not from me. Rebuke it now. I designed you for wonder, for sensitivity to my movement, for the joy of communion, where your spirit leaps within at the brush of my presence. I long for you to trust those nudges, to lean into my affection, to let my reality define your day more than anything shouting from the outside world. Place your trust in my character, not merely in outcomes. I am working both within and around you, always loving, always intentional. Let me speak to the lie that your brokenness disqualifies you. The enemy has disguised failure as permanent exile. But hear me, those verdicts hold no ground in my kingdom. You are not rejected or sidelined. I have marked you, sealed you, anointed you for purpose that far outstrips anything you have lost. Every scar is a doorway for my glory to shine through. My child, you are not just a survivor of your trials. You are being transformed into a living testimony of my power. Say these words: my wounds are becoming my strength. My past does not define what is possible. In the tension between exhaustion and expectation, I am teaching you the art of surrender. Not resignation, not defeat, but active yielding of your deepest fears and tenderest dreams into my hands. Hold this image, your anxieties like stones, heavy and cold, placed one by one into my scarred palms. Feel how your load lightens. Notice the freedom beginning to spark in your chest. This is the power of my presence intersecting your reality. Breathe. Let your body relax. There is no rush here. There is only the gentle invitation to abide in the knowledge that you are wanted, delighted in, fully alive under my gaze. I am not impatient with your process. Your healing does not have to be heroic or quick. I celebrate every inch you move forward, every risk you take to open a little more. You are already a miracle unfolding. When you are tempted to gauge your worth by what you see around you, remember who formed you. The standards of this world are ever shifting, but my love for you is unshakable, constant as the sunrise. You do not have to strive to prove yourself. Pause for a moment. Can you sense my hand steadying your heart? The peace I give isn't earned. It simply is offered to you because you belong to me. There may be times when comparison tugs fiercely at your mind, making you wonder if your journey is enough, if your pace is too slow. But child, I see the unique light shining in your story. No one else can carry your calling. I judge your progress by the grace you let into your heart, not by any clock that the world holds up. There is a different quiet that settles when you choose to meet my gaze in the middle of your striving. I am not in a hurry with you. My guidance is not loud. It is gentle, a nudge that asks you to trust that being close to me matters more than knowing every detail. My wisdom grows in your patience and the surrender that comes not from defeat, but from the freedom you find in letting me hold the weight you cannot carry on your own. Think back to moments of discouragement that once felt like dead ends. See how hope begins to flower again, small and bright within you. This growth is my work. I tend to your inner garden with joy, and I do not leave when the ground looks barren. Every seed you have planted in faith, every whispered prayer has been gathered into my attentive care. In quiet darkness, I nourish them till their time is right. I want you to reclaim the delight of unstressed beginnings. When you awaken, bring your anxious thoughts to me before the day's demands take over. Visualize my hand steady on your shoulder, anchoring you in calm, despite what might come. Anxiety loses its grip where my presence fills the room, and you learn to taste relief. One quiet breath at a time, do not be afraid to bring me your true desires, even the ones that feel impractical or too great for you. I am not surprised by what you long for, nor am I indifferent to the passion I place within you. Your dreams are not at odds with your spiritual journey. Instead, I turn your desires toward good and lead you gently, even when outcomes are still hidden. Picture yourself standing under gentle morning light. Let the warmth remind you I have made you for possibility. You are learning in the ordinary flow of morning and night that my timing is not meant to frustrate you, but to keep you anchored in the present where my voice is most clear. Notice how anxiety loosens its grip when you stop measuring your progress by others' standards and let me set your pace. The world hurries, but you belong to my rhythm. Gentle, steadfast, perfectly timed. Keep your heart open, for there is more to uncover. Every moment you have walked with me has prepared you for the deeper unveiling now at hand. The space between who you were and who you are becoming grows smaller with each surrender. You may sense friction within, the gentle pressure of your anguish meeting the relentless hope I am planting. This is not disappointment. This is birthing. Can you feel your spirit contending with old limitations, pushing at boundaries that once seemed immovable? I am not asking you to muster false strength. I am inviting you to let go of every story that told you you were not enough. I tell you, the discomfort you encounter is not punishment. It is evidence that the old is passing away. Each ache is a signal that new life is pressing through. Some days you wonder if the pain will define you. Listen, beloved, I am the one who defines you, not your wounds. I whisper to your deepest fears, quieting them with assurance that your scars are anointed for healing. There will be moments soon when you glimpse yourself in acts of compassion or courage and recognize a holy boldness that did not originate in you. It is my spirit hastening you forward. Let the world's noise fall away for a moment. Let it all fade until you can sense my voice more clearly than the memories that try to haunt you. Breathe deeply, letting every breath signal your agreement to continue this journey with me. When doubts assault you, I am the shield that absorbs their arrows. When exhaustion drags you low, I become the rest beneath every weary thought. You are not walking in circles. You are advancing step by trembling step into an awakening. Perhaps you had believed you would always be the wounded one, the outcast, never quite belonging. That lie crumbles now. You do not merely belong. You are essential to the story I am telling upon this earth. My anointing rests on you to bring what only your voice, your experience, your story can release. Picture my hands lifting the burdens from your shoulders, replacing them with a mantle of purpose so perfectly fitted that you hardly notice the shift until you sense the sweet weight of responsibility mingled with joy. Even as you doubt whether you could possibly be enough, I am marking you as chosen, called, sent. I will send confirmation through unexpected conversations, sudden reminders in the lyrics of a song, or a dream awakening you with courage. You will know it is me because peace will settle over you when you least expect it. There is a calling that now emerges, not born of striving, but of intimate communion. The world tells you to build, perform, impress. I tell you to rest in my approval and let that rest fuel your action. The shift occurring within is evidence of my hand, not human ambition. I did not choose you because you are flawless. I chose you because even in your brokenness you long for me. Do not measure yourself against the progress of others. My ways with you are personal, precise, and drenched in love. Will you trust me to reveal what comes next? Right now, pause. Place your hand on your heart. Allow the warmth there to remind you that I remain nearer than your breath. Let gratitude flow not only for what I have done, but for who you are becoming in my presence. Say aloud softly, I am not who I was. I am being made new. As you do, feel the old labels fall away. Every time the enemy tries to remind you of past failures, answer with this truth. I am in process, and I am loved every step. My favor surrounds you with power to endure, courage to risk, boldness to love. Do not look back in longing. Look forward in hope. The pattern of your life is shifting. Where you anticipated repeated cycles of loss, you will witness resurrection. In ordinary moments, doing what once felt meaningless, you will catch glimpses of purpose now saturating even mundane routines. There are those near you quietly observing, longing for evidence that change is possible. Your courage to believe will be the spark that lights their hope. This is not just your transformation. It is an awakening for everyone you touch. The decisions you make now in hidden places will ripple outward, breaking chains in generations to come. Do not underestimate the power of your yes. I have seen you discount your influence, thinking, who would notice if I changed? But I who made you delight in unveiling the magnitude of your impact, especially in the unseen. There will be days soon when you sense the nearness of my spirit so strongly that every fear bows in reverence. You do not build this life alone. I am weaving you into something far greater than your own restoration. Keep listening. You may wonder if your healing is real, if this newfound hope will last. Release that anxiety to me, even if you must do it hour by hour. My faithfulness does not depend on your feelings remaining constant. When storms threaten, I remain unmoved. Your shelter, your defender, your father. Soon you will find yourself comforting someone with words you never thought possible. Wisdom forged in suffering transformed into rivers of refreshment. This is the mark of a life redeemed. Old pain transformed into present compassion. Wounds now windows for my light. Watch for that sudden clarity as you wake. The answer you sought long ago now rising unforced in your mind. I am orchestrating these moments not as coincidences, but as signs that breakthrough already lives in you. Hold fast, my child. The process is sacred. You may not see how the ground has already shifted beneath your feet. But as you look back on previous seasons, notice the subtle marks of my movement in your journey. When you recall moments you thought would break you, realize how you stand taller now, more steady, because I undergirded you even then. What you mistook for silence was my deep, quiet work in the soil of your heart. My presence in your ordinary routines is proof enough that the extraordinary is never far away. For I delight in surprising you. In the hush before the world awakens, I am there brushing comfort over your anxieties, inviting you to linger a moment longer in my reassurance. The world's rush is not your master. Pay attention as peace moves softly through you, reminding you that your worth is not measured by what you can finish before noon, but by the simple fact you are mine. Where people may overlook your efforts or misread your heart, I see the labor no one else applauds. The sacrifices you offer behind closed doors, the perseverance when celebration is elsewhere, all find their way to my heart. You need not strive for validation in voices that cannot satisfy. I affirm you continually, not for what you perform, but because you belong. I know the longing that swells when you pray over your family, your relationships, your future. I am working in the details you cannot orchestrate, tending hearts and opening doors where you see none. Trust that I am a guardian. In the moments where you release your cares to me, even reluctantly, find relief in knowing you do not have to carry the world on your shoulders. Some days are clouded by memories of disappointment. I invite you today to let the past loosen its grip, to let my voice speak a truer word over your identity. You have not missed my best for you. No mistake is too great for my mercy. Allow the warmth of my love to fill the spaces left wounded. I make all things new with every sunrise. Throughout your day, interruptions arrive. In those sudden pivots, I am near, offering wisdom if you pause to breathe my name. You lack nothing for what this hour requires. When uncertainty presses in, let gratitude be your first response. It will unlock clarity and courage. The smallest thank you uttered in faith can shift the atmosphere of confusion into peace. You wonder how long it will take before your season of waiting breaks open with visible answers. I remind you, beloved, delay is not denial. My timing protects you more than you realize, shielding you from what is not yet ripe, and preparing blessings that will not wither under pressure. The dreams I plant in you are not forgotten in hiddenness. They are fed by my hope. In the friction of daily life, let forgiveness flow freely over others and over yourself. When anger sparks or disappointment lingers, meet it not with judgment, but with surrender. I supply grace in abundance. Each time you refuse to let bitterness define you, you reflect my own heart back to the world. Resilient, merciful, never constricted by past offenses. This gentleness is a gift, a quiet force stronger than any weapon. When you return home, weary from effort or disappointment, remember that I am there. Let your night be seasoned with gratitude, not for perfect outcomes, but for my nearness throughout it all. As you lay your head down and surrender what is unfinished, feel my embrace wrap around your soul. I am both the Alpha and Omega in your story, and while you sleep, I am still at work, unfurling hope and renewal. Now, let your heart realize the magnitude of the shift taking place within you, beloved. The hidden corners of your soul that once shrank from my gaze are opening in surrender. In this moment, I am nearer than the breath you just drew. The residue of old wounds, the silent disappointments you carried, they are being rewritten by the touch of my spirit. You are not defined by your history or failures. I name you chosen. I call you beloved. You are reborn from this encounter unburdened. Can you feel the subtle peace anchoring your body, the weight in your chest lifted? That is me restoring what was fractured, reigniting hope you thought lost. Close your eyes, sense the warmth radiating from within, evidence of my presence residing deeper than any anxiety. The world outside may clamor for proof, but I am shifting the foundation of your certainty from what is seen to what is eternal. There are moments yet ahead when old fears may attempt a return, but their power is broken. You are held in the unshakable security of my love. If the voices of shame or self-doubt stir again, come back to this remembrance. I am your refuge and your song. You are never required to strive for my acceptance. Listen now. Do you sense the faint echo of joy stirring within? That is the foretaste of your next season. You will walk as one who knows the secret of being held. Pause and open your hands, palms upward. It is a living act of expectation. Receive afresh what I delight to give, wisdom where confusion clouded, rivers of peace where anxiety reigned. My spirit whispering truth to your spirit will nudge you toward each small act of trust. Do not despise the days of steady steps. Hidden within them is a momentum that will surprise you. Today I drop a seed of clarity into your living. Watch as it grows quietly, but relentlessly, until breakthrough breaks forth with undeniable fruit. You'll know it's my hand, for your heart will recognize my signature in even the smallest detail. There is no chaos or darkness that can outmaneuver the strategies of my love. Each night you spent asking why did not fall on deaf ears. I stored every tear. I turn every searching prayer into a pathway forward. The doors that seem forever shut are no match for my authority. I am the God who redeems lost time, restoring delight, repairing relationships, and repurposing pain into passion for others' healing. You have entered an agreement with hope, and the signature on that covenant is written in the blood that covers you. My vision for you goes far beyond survival. You were born for an awakening. What you have survived now becomes your curriculum for courage, equipping you to notice the wounds in others and draw near with gentleness. The very places that once made you want to hide will be transformed into wells of compassion. Speak truth aloud right here. I am not who I used to be. When you say it, notice the lightness in your breath, a sign you are embracing your true identity. Your life is grafted into my intention. As you walk forward from this encounter, recognize that my voice will not be confined to these present words. I will whisper to you in quiet moments and echo in places you least expect. There will be mornings when you wake up with the sudden clarity you've been longing for. Other times, the peace I promised will settle over you like a gentle covering during an ordinary task. You'll know it's me, for my presence always brings the subtle assurance that you are profoundly safe. You are part of a movement greater than yourself, a gathering of the awakened who carry my light into dark corners of the world. Each step you take in freedom resounds beyond your own story, shaking the prisons around those you love. You are not called simply to endure. You are commissioned to triumph, leaving footprints of hope wherever you dwell. Lift your face even now. Let the radiance of my favor become your countenance. You are the evidence of redemption's power moving through generations. This is not the end, but a new emergence. I am still guiding, still healing, still calling you deeper. Remain expectant. There are gifts, encounters, and assignments yet to unfold as you keep responding to my invitation. Each day, choose to abide in my nearness, knowing every moment is saturated with purpose and promise. The best is indeed unfolding. You are mine. I am yours. We are forever joined in unbreakable love. Amen.